7 days a week. What does local news mean? Here's a sample.
There are several sites in town you could drive around that may have some potential. So we're just trying to narrow down.
Obviously, they just copied that decommissioning plant from one in Muhammad. And I'm assuming it's the same size, the one in Muhammad is coming up with the same figures.
They tell you how to make a smart house with things that turn off and on if you can't really turn a light bulb button or a switch. And, it's just amazing. So
you hear the local people that make the news every day, 7 days a week on the big 1520 AM, 92.3 FM, and 106.5 FM WHOW, and on your easy choice for soft hits, 95.9 FM WEZC.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank. Good morning, Connie.
Good morning, Seth.
How are you this
fine? Great. This weather's awesome.
Oh, weather's great. I can't believe we're almost to Thanksgiving. This is crazy. Yeah. Are your leaves down, by the way? Have you blown leaves?
Most of them are down.
Yeah.
Not all of them yet. And they all landed in my pool with a cover.
How fun. Yeah. We're still waiting on ours, and probably another week before I'll get to blow them all out to the road. And that's a big old thing for us. We put a big, huge pile out, and city picks it up. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
They pick it up.
Yeah, it is. It really is a great service. But at any rate, Connie, let's dive into, I know financial planning is always kind of top of mind for you in our discussion, and being in the schools has always been kind of your forte. That's what a lot of people know you for, is being in the schools, and you're starting to get back into that with DeWitt Savings Bank. Tell us about what's been going on lately.
So this fall, we started working on our Economics Everywhere campaign. October is Economics Awareness Month, and we go into the schools. This year, we stuck to Douglas and Lincoln this year, and we went in and taught some financial literacy lessons. Kindergartners, we did needs versus wants, which everybody could use that lesson all the way through senior citizens. We all sort of struggle with that one. And then in first grade, we did goods and services. So the fact that when people have a business or work in a profession, they either sell a good or provide a service. And so the kids then, the students, they illustrated both of those needs, a need and a want. And then the first graders did a good or a service, and it was based on a book. So I'll go in there, and I read a book called Lily Learns About Wants and Needs and for kindergarten. And then first grade, it was Berenstein Bears, The Trouble with Money, and talked about the two little brother and sister bear. They don't know how to handle their money. They're always spending and wasting it. And so they learn how to earn money, and then they learn that earning it, you can either provide a good, like they sell berries from the fields near their house, or they could provide a service like a pet sitting business. So we talk about that. We go over some examples, and then the kids are asked to illustrate a picture. So we have some pictures that they illustrate, like we have like goods and services. Like one little girl, she did lollipops for her good, and a bank is a service. It's somewhere where you keep your money safe, and they provide help with your financial transactions. So then what we do is all of the kids that turn in a poster, they get entered in a contest, and we pick 12 winners. And those are the photos for our calendar for the year, our Economics Everywhere calendar.
Okay.
And then the students that win, that I went back to the school, notified them, and they get their picture on the back of the calendar. It's really cute. And then they each get a calendar for their family for a Christmas present.
Oh, cool.
And then the teacher gets one, and Mrs. Patrick and the two secretaries, I usually do one for them. And this year we will have some extras. So if they have a family member, like a grandma or someone who wants one, they can come into the bank and get one.
Okay.
So we'll have some extras this year. This is the first time I've had that. So I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
And as always at the bank, we always like to have calendars available for our customers. This year, for those of you who are DeWitt Savings Bank customers, we are waiting till December 12th to hand those out.
Okay.
And we have a couple extra styles, and we'll be doing customer appreciation Christmas program there. We'll have cookies and cider and all that, and we'll hand out calendars.
Cool.
So
Good deal.
so hopefully you'll be able to see the one we made for the students, and it's just a lot of fun. The kids love it. I'll run into them at the vault or somewhere else where I'm working,
Sure.
and they'll say, "Hey, remember me when I won the calendar contest in first grade?" And it's
cool.
just neat to see them light up about
Sure,
that.
sure. That's awesome. Good deal. So back in the schools, and you were telling me probably getting more involved in the second semester, right?
Yes, that's the plan. We're working on some this year more shorter stops into the classrooms. Then next year build up the curriculum a little bit more back to what it used to be in the classrooms.
Will you be doing what is the bank program at CES? Will you be doing that this year?
No, First National does run the
do they?
program.
Okay, they're doing that this year.
Yes.
Cool.
So at DeWitt Savings, we have a little bit different. We have a kids club, and if you sign up for the program, you get a piggy bank, and we just reordered piggy banks. The ones we had were, if you drop them, they break. So we got some more durable ones.
Sure.
But when you bring in your money, we have some cool prizes now for you to get, incentive prizes. And we have like an ice cream treat for your birthday that we'll be handing out gift cards for that as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So sort of neat. Yeah.
Good deal. So getting back involved with the kids, and like I said, I know that's kind of right up your alley. So I'm glad you're doing that again. Anything else on that front, Connie?
Well, you know what? This brings up a really good point. We've had several young adults come in, and maybe their parents got them a Chime account or a Greenlight when they were a little younger, and now
tell folks what that is. I guarantee there's people that don't know what that is.
Okay, so that's it's technically an online bank, and the parents can fund their debit card. It's a debit card for them, and it can be a savings account. Some people put their kids' allowances on them, and then they have that money, like let's say if they want to buy snacks or something at a football game, they can use their card or whatever. But what we're seeing is as kids get older, they don't provide the banking services that they need. So let's say they have a check they want to deposit, or they need to write a check, because you know what? Nowadays, you still have to write a check every once in a while. So they will come in and ask to cash a check, but they don't have a bank account with us. Sometimes it would be it would benefit them to have a real bank account that has a physical location for those kind of one-off incidences. Plus, if you have a question or you have some fraud on your account, then you can quickly get another debit card. You know, when you're working with a local bank, that's one of the things that really helps. But also to build a relationship with a banker so that someday you do want to get a car loan or you want to get a mortgage, you can sit down with somebody. They know you, they know what your banking history is, and they can help guide you in how to work out your credit history, what steps you need to take to get a loan, things like that.
Yeah. How, and I wonder about that. How important is it to have a relationship with a banker within a brick and mortar bank in your community?
That's a really good question. So just to give you an idea, a lot of people will look online. They'll try to get their mortgage maybe online, something like that. They say a good rate and they go for that. A lot of times you have to compare apples to apples too. The rate might be a little lower, but but the fees are really high. A lot of times when you go in and you meet with a banker in your community, they can give you a more customized plan, what works best for you, because they're talking to you, not just you guessing online what you need. Also, they're able to work with you. Maybe you haven't worked that long, and an online bank has rules they have set rules of what they can approve. Whereas when you walk into your local bank, they may have exceptions that they can offer you. I'm not saying all the time, but or they can help you work on a plan to get mortgage ready and tell you what you need to do to get to that point.
Okay.
But also they work closer with you on, these are the documents we need. This is when we need it. This is what I need you to do to be able to close on your house.
Sure. Gotcha. Well, on that note, Connie, you talked about that youth side of things. Obviously, again, that's just part of building up a young person and their financial literacy and their financial knowledge.
Absolutely. And it's getting more and more confusing. In the old days, you had a checkbook and you had cash. and you could keep track of your balance. Every time you took cash out, you had your balance right there. And people think, well, I have my app, it shows me the balance, but it also doesn't do all the automatic transactions. You don't see them. Sometimes it's a surprise when something's coming in and out of your account. So it's a lot more confusing than it used to be. And some people use Venmo or, and that's a completely different pot of money. So, there's more to finances than there used to be.
Right.
So it's more confusing.
Sure. Very good. Well, Connie, on that note, anything again on kind of just outreach with kids and the things going on with them you want to talk about?
Well, I really like to talk about people remembering that Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
And this is a great time to put a budget together with your kids. Maybe have them put a wish list together of things that they might like to have, they might need to, and put that together now so you have a plan in a couple months for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I look at the clock. Let's take a break now. A little bit ahead of that, ahead of needing a break, but I don't want to interrupt our conversation on planning for the holidays. How do folks get a hold of you, Connie, learn more about financial planning, just DeWitt Savings Bank? Where do they go for all that?
They can call me at DeWitt Savings Bank. My actual direct line is 217-935-7739, or if they can ask for Connie, and I'm happy to answer any financial questions. If I don't have the answer, I will find it for you.
Sounds good. Again, Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank, our guest in studio this morning. More to come with Connie on the morning show.
WHOW.
Shane Steinberg here from Highway 51 Exchange, your equipment rental headquarters, south of Clinton on US 51. Check our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com to book online today and pick up tomorrow. Highway 51 Exchange.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
Finding the right employees can be a real challenge these days, whether you're hiring full-time or part-time. That's where the regional radio stations come in. We're here to help you connect with the qualified candidates you need. Check out IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. It's part of our comprehensive radio and internet employment campaign designed to get your job openings noticed. For details, just reach out to your account manager. Put the power of radio and the internet to work for you at IllinoisJobPost.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Sue Stir from Covenant Animal Clinic. We are very happy to be the proud sponsor of a new Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Just click on the icon next to the masthead to get to the new Adopt a Pet page. Then you will be able to see some of the adorable dogs and cats at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter that are waiting for their forever home. You can also click on the link from the page to fill out the animal adoption application form. Thank you for helping us spread the word about our four-legged friends at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter who are ready to be adopted. And remember, a healthy pet is a happy pet.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank in studio with us. And Connie, we're going to talk financial planning for the holidays. Where do we start this conversation?
Well, I think we should start with Thanksgiving. So I actually have had this conversation several times in the past few weeks of I can't afford Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not having it at my house. And I just saw something online about what a dinner would cost at different grocery stores. And the good news is it's costing less this year. And there's like conflicting stories. But if you go to the Aldi, there's all these Aldi user groups on Facebook, and they showed that you could buy a dinner for $10 for $40. And they actually fed it to 10 people and there were leftovers. So it's true. You know, that's how much you spend 2 people going out for lunch at a restaurant is $40. So it's really not that pricey. Something to consider too is this is the time of year people are throwing, you know, great deals on turkeys and stuff like that. But also you have to weigh that. I was looking at one big chain was offering 49-cent pound turkey, but you had to spend $200.
What?
Yeah. Is it really worth it?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, if that's where you do your normal grocery shopping, maybe. But I would say I looked at Aldi online and it was 77 cents per pound for Genio turkey today. And it varies by store, they said online. But that's reasonable. And the cost of food there is so reasonable. I know that Save-A-Lot has a lot of great prices as well. Theirs are usually very close to what Aldi's prices are. And a lot of times they're cheaper than Walmart. So
Dave prides himself on that.
Exactly.
He was just on the show talking about it.
I just bought a jar of Great Northern beans for $1 less, a big jar there versus Walmart.
No kidding. Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, I saw those the other day for $1 cheaper at Save-A-Lot. So I made a trip and got them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so, and other things to think about, I always talk about make a plan or you're going to plan to fail. So, make a list of, I mean, I remember my grandma doing this. She would make a list just on a spiral notebook page of all the things she planned to make. And then she'd invite people. We'd have about 25, 30 people at her Thanksgiving dinner. My mom had 5 siblings. So there's a lot of people. But she would make a list and then people would ask, what can I bring? And she would check off things on her list, not, oh, bring whatever, because that always turns into, you know, do I really need this? So if everything that someone's bringing is one less thing for your budget, right? So if you decide, hey, bring a pumpkin pie, that's, you know, good $5-6 savings for you. And I will tell you that I priced out how much it would cost to make 2 pies. It'd be less than $8 if you went to Aldi and got the ingredients to make it. I mean, you have to buy a dozen eggs, but you only use 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those things you can make a list and just check off who's going to bring what and save yourself some money too.
You know, can we talk about something real fast? This is way off the beaten path, but you talked about, you know, the holidays and making a budget and those sorts of things. You know, I think of I don't even know why this came to mind. You know, YouTube TV just cut out the Disney ESPN stuff. Yeah. And a lot of people out there are, you know, they want to watch their Disney shows and they want to watch, like, I want to watch my live sports. Right. And so, you know, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, now do I have to subscribe to another service? And like all these subscriptions we have, where I wanted to go with this, Connie, is to say, maybe analyze your subscriptions for a month and cut back on a few during the holidays.
Oh, you brought up a great point. Yeah. So we started doing this thing at our house because the whole ESPN. Well, now we just watch Big Ten Network because that's on YouTube TV and we switch no more other, you know, because of the ESPN thing. But one thing you could do is seasonally pick, like, we're going to binge watch Netflix during the winter and then you cancel it and start it up later. During the Olympics, I want to have, I don't know, is it ABC that does the Olympics? NBC, yes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we have NBC during those 2 weeks. I'll subscribe to this because that's one of the beauties of the subscriptions. You can turn them on and off, you know, and so you could do something like that. Another thing is too, a lot of times if you don't care when you see things, YouTube, if you're willing to watch some ads, they have like free episodes of a lot of the shows that you want to watch. The other day, I used to love to watch House Hunters International, and they have like, you can just like watch a whole binge watch of 6 episodes in a row for free on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Or YouTube, not YouTube TV.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's the streaming service, I think, is becoming a huge talking point in the strain on budgets.
It is, and it's almost worse than cable was. You remember how you'd be hamstrung by the cable and how expensive it was. And another thing that I see is people get into the internet. I mean, my internet is like $120 a month. That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
So we're moving down packages to have because we realize we're not using as much internet as we think we're going to use.
And so I agree with that. You can barter your internet. You can barter on your internet price.
Bargain, you mean? Or?
Yeah. Like, no. Like, you can call them and talk down your internet
Oh,
price.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that I've done that several times.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, look, Connexus offers, internet for $80 and I can get a terabyte of whatever it is, 100 terabytes of data, for 30 days. And it's this cost. And, a lot of times they will find you a price that will work for you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But also along with that, look at other subscriptions. Like, do you have a health club membership that you don't use? Things like that you don't realize. Or are you doing Audible books and no one reads that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Those subscriptions you don't know about that are coming out of your budget on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
100%.
And it really look at are they going to your credit card? Are they going to your bank account? Just look and see what's going through there. I highly recommend, if you haven't done it, to track your spending. You will be shocked at where your spending's going. And like I said, people talk about complaining about their Thanksgiving meal, but they go and get coffee every morning or they go out to lunch every day for work. That 2 days of going to lunch is your Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, Connie, I am so sorry for this. I've talked us past when I have to let you go. I've got about a minute left. Anything you wanted to talk about, whether it was Thanksgiving, I'll have you back in early December.
Yeah.
We'll talk holiday spending then. But Thanksgiving, anything on spending, budgeting, Black Friday, how about that?
Real quick on Black Friday, it's usually not a great deal. We talked a little bit about that off air. Be really careful. Look at the prices before you go to shop or before you buy it on Amazon and make sure it's a good price and it's something you really need or want. It's on your shopping list. Make a list and stick to it.
Sure. Very good. Connie, how do folks get a hold of you at DeWitt Savings Bank?
Give me a call, 217-935-7739.
Very good. That is Connie Miller, DeWitt Savings Bank, our guest in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. If you miss our interviews this morning, check out our Facebook and YouTube channels for the videos of those and the playback of those as well. You can also check out DeWittDailyNews.com, where we've got all those archived in podcast form as well. The morning show, again, comes up on Network News here on this Thursday morning. Network News is now.
WHOW.